Good evening, everyone. My name is Celeste De La Cabra. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be discussing today's Criterion announcements for the month of February in the year of our Lord 2023. So we've got 5 releases to talk about, including the very first 4K collector set. So why don't we go ahead and start there? Now, I'm realizing that I've made a horrible mistake and I don't know how to pronounce this director's name. Krzysztof Kowalski? Is that close? I don't know. Tell me how close I was. This is the Three Colors Trilogy. Blue, white, and red are the names of the films respectively. So this is one that has had a 4K restoration touring about for quite some time now, and I've been kind of telling people to hold off on this one because the 4K was imminent, and thankfully I was right. Now, I've not seen any of these films for precisely that reason. I don't have a cool theater near me that would be showing them, and I wanted to go ahead and wait for the 4K so that I could experience it in the best quality possible, because these are supposed to be like, real hardcore, like all-timers, like real 10 out of 10 shit. So let's go ahead and read this little blurb that Criterion has so lovingly written out for us. This boldly cinematic trio of stories about love and loss from Krzysztof Kowalski was a defining event of the art house boom of the 1990s. The films are named for the colors of the French flag and stand for the tenets of the French Revolution: liberty, equality, and fraternity, but that hardly begins to explain their enigmatic beauty and rich humanity. I'm into that so far. Set in Paris, Warsaw, and Geneva, and ranging from tragedy to comedy, Blue, White, and Red, Kowalski's final film, examine with artistic clarity a group of ambiguously interconnected people experiencing profound personal disruptions. Kowalski's Three Colors is a benchmark of contemporary cinema, and the box set looks really beautiful. I'm sure that this is what the Blu-ray version looks like too, but I'm just really excited about this packaging here. So now, what's interesting to me is that there's a larger, I think, markup on this for the 4K upgrade than there is for the standard titles. So just looking at this pricing here, I really hope my math is right. I imagine it is, but I wouldn't put it past me. The Blu-ray set per film is going to be $21 about, versus the 4K set it's going to be $33. I mean, that feels like a pretty substantial difference to me. So a bit of a upcharge here. I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. I don't know if anybody has any insight or thoughts into that, but I guess it's a taste of what the 4K sets are going to look like, which is expensive. So in the special features we have the 4K and Blu-ray with new 4K digital restorations and a 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio soundtrack. And if you have the Blu-ray set, or if you buy the Blu-ray set, you're only getting the high definition digital transfers, so I'm guessing that's a 2K or even less, with a 2.0 Master Audio soundtrack. So I mean, that's a pretty stark difference, right? Like, you definitely want this new one so that you can get the new restorations. Even if you don't have a 4K player, I would think you'd want those Blu-rays because they're going to have those new restorations on them. In the 4K, one 4K UHD disc of each film presented in Dolby Vision HDR, and one Blu-ray of each film with special features. Hold on, now I'm thinking. See, the Blu-ray is only 3 discs, and the 4K is 6 discs, plus you have the 4K upgrade. That might be why, because to keep it in line with the combo thing, you kind of have to, you have to double the number of discs. So I actually imagine the box set is going to look different in that regard, so that should be interesting to see. And I don't think there's any new special features. You get a bunch of cool stuff, including 3 short films, which is pretty dope. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking to pick this up come some kind of sale time after this is out. Alright, moving along. We have, oh boy, Franco Zeffirelli. I'm gonna hope that's right. It's Italian, so I feel confident in that offensive rendition there. But yeah, we have Romeo and Juliet from 1968. 138 minutes, 185 to 1, spine number 1171. Standard price, DVD option, which is fun. I don't think I've seen this one, because I know we must have watched some kind of Romeo and Juliet adaptation in high school, but I don't know if I saw the whole thing, or I have a feeling I've seen it, but I definitely need to rewatch it, because I don't remember a single thing about it. I just remember, like, I've heard stories from friends and family that this was the one that they watched in class, and they were, like, both surprised and elated to be able to see titties in the high school English class. So That's pretty fun, right? I've read the story several times, obviously. I'm currently like on a kind of a Shakespeare exploration trying to conquer that kind of it's like a literary mountain that I'm attempting to scale. One of the great Shakespeare adaptations, this sublime take on the bard's immortal romantic tragedy by Franco Zeffirelli breathed new life into the oft-told tale by casting actual teenagers in the title roles. Well, that makes anecdotes about the breasts a little bit sus there. As the young lovers whose affair threatens to inflame the tensions between their feuding families in Renaissance Verona, Olivia, is it Hussey? Is her name Hussey? Okay. And Leonard Whiting vividly capture their mix of adolescent ardor and turmoil that fuels their destiny-driven liaison. A sensory banquet, oh I like that, thanks to Nino Rota's delicate score and the exquisite Oscar-winning costumes and cinematography. Romeo and Juliet is Shakespeare at its most deeply felt and passionately alive. Wow, that's pretty high praise. I kind of understood that this was a kind of had a lukewarm reception to it, but I don't know, maybe it's really good. I definitely want to check it out. I absolutely adore this cover art. It's hard-ass font. It's great, like, separation with the rapier here. And this gorgeous color palette with, like, really pretty people on it. So we have a new 4K digital restoration with the uncompressed monaural soundtrack. Lovely. No 4K disc, which I saw some people were disappointed by, but it is what it is. Excerpt from the 2018 documentary Franco Zeffirelli directing from life. Now, I wonder why this is only an excerpt as opposed to the whole thing. It would have been nice to have the whole thing on here, but maybe it's like really like the rest of it's. I don't know, because there's like director documentaries on a lot of these editions. So, I mean, I think it's relevant even if they go into other films. Interviews with actors Olivia and Leonard from 1967 and 2016. Pretty wide distribution of dates there. And then just the standard stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. There's not really a lot here. It's kind of disappointing. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to show that on youtube.net here. There's a YouTube-friendly image. Oh, that one too. Yes. These are good. It does look very ornate. Very beautiful. And yes, it joins this little band of outsiders here in the Criterion Shakespeare adaptations. Also, this comes out on February 14th, which I thought was a nice touch. Be a cute little Valentine's Day thing to do. I don't know if you know how the story ends, maybe not. Next, from Richard Linklater, Dazed and Confused. This is spine number 336 and is a 4K upgrade of the pre-existing Blu-ray, which I am pleased to say I do not own. I've also never seen this one. You know, every month there's kind of that roll of the dice where it's like, are they going to announce a 4K of something I already have? And then I just have the ever-present inner turmoil about what to do with that information. And then, you know, so I'm always kind of hoping for upgrades, but specifically of ones I don't have yet. So that way I don't have to worry about it, and I can just get it, and it'll be great. But I've already watched videos of people posting their hauls where they bought this. I hope they kept the receipt, or kept it sealed up. This is supposed to be one of the more elaborate, like, digipack packagings in the collection, and it looks like they're keeping that tradition alive here, so that's exciting. But let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. America, 1976. The last day of school, bongs blaze, bell bottoms ring, and roll rocks. Among the best teen films ever made, Dazed and Confused eavesdrops on a group of seniors-to-be and incoming freshmen, a launching pad for a number of future stars. The first studio effort by Richard Linklater also features endlessly quotable dialogue and a blasting, stadium-ready soundtrack. Sidestepping nostalgia, Dazed and Confused is less about the best years of our lives than the boredom, angst, and excitement of teenagers waiting for something to happen. I hope that's not what the film is like, waiting for something to happen. Alright, so on this here 4K joint, we have a new 4K digital restoration of the director's cut. Okay. Supervised and approved by the director and the cinematographer. I mean, I've already seen some murmurings that this color grading is going to be controversial, but like if the director and the cinematographer signed off on it, like clearly the old one is wrong, you know? That's just my feeling on it. Audio commentary, documentary. Again, doesn't look like there's anything new, but that's okay. That's okay for those of us who don't have it yet. 2 films by Marguerite Duras. This one I'm super intrigued by. I've not seen either of them, but it really looks like my kind of thing. And I was just reading a bit about her, and she seemed like a very interesting, creative, fascinating, and kind of subversive artist and human being. So I'm all about that. This cover art is like really unique, and I'm really into it. This looks very dramatic. I'm very into this. I'm all for it. This is how, maybe not how I'm trying to be, but how I am. Oh, to lounge and drama. Is that it? 2 stills? Okay. 1 per film? Keeping us in the dark here. I like how my lighting brightened when I said that. Okay, let's read this. Marguerite Duras had already established herself as one of the major figures of post-war French literature when she launched an equally fascinating and unclassifiable career in cinema, translating her elliptical, experimental style to the screen through an unprecedented fusion of hypnotic, highly stylized imagery and radically disjunctive sound. Ooh, that sounds fun. Fucking with the sound design. I'm into that. Boldly reimagining the possibilities with dialogue, music, silence, and architectural space, the tantalizing sphinx-like evocations of soul-deep female malaise. Oh, I love all these words I'm getting here and the combinations that they're in. This really just seems like my kind of thing. Anyway, soul-deep female malaise, India Song, and Baxter Vera Baxter embody Duras's singular multisensory approach, with each opening up new spaces for the expression of a women's interior worlds. That's an ambitious project there, and a pretty big sell. So all you dudes, all you like straight dudes out there who are like, oh, just can't understand women, they're a different breed. I can't possibly relate to another human being with a different gender. Maybe you should pick this one up, and then you will understand your wife. New 2K digital restorations. Cool. So you're probably good to buy this unless they decide to backtrack and do a 4K restoration, which strikes me as like a 0% chance of happening. Uncompressed Monroe soundtrack. Marguerite as She Was, a 2003 portrait. Okay, so that's like a documentary, I guess. An interview and another documentary excerpt. New English subtitle translation. I love that. That's really cool. I guess for even people who have seen this, you will probably glean some kind of new understanding from this edition, as it has presumably a more accurate subtitle translation. These are both streaming on the channel. I imagine Janice licensed them, so go nuts. If you want to try before you buy, go check it out. It's not giving me the years and shit, or the country, or whatever. Okay, yeah, so they're French. French stuff. Get your pinkies up. Some snooty boys and girls. Next, we've saved the one I actually have seen for last, I guess. This is Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle, with this beautiful cover art here. Blu-ray only, 1173, 81 minutes, 185 to 1, 1987. Let's go ahead and read this and then I'll talk about it, because I have seen this and I really, really like it. So, yeah. This debut feature by Robert Townsend is an ingenious guerrilla satire that takes riotous aim at the typecasting of black actors in 1980s Hollywood. The writer-director star's megawatt charisma propels Hollywood Shuffle, the hilarious tale of a struggling actor attempting to break into an industry where the only roles available to black performers seem to be hustlers, butlers. When you read that, you really want the word to be bustlers, but it's not. Hustlers, butlers, slaves, and quote-unquote Eddie Murphy types, forcing him to choose between selling out and maintaining his self-respect. Lampooning everything from film noir to zombie flicks to Siskel and Ebert, Townsend and co-writer Keenan Ivory Wayans cannily turn the frustrations of the black artist into a subversely funny pop culture critique. Yes, I saw this on the channel years ago, and I was really taken with it. It's funny as shit. It's really smart. It's really bold in its critique, and it's like very uncompromising in what it's trying to say. It's not subtle, but it doesn't need to be. Like, it's describing a very real thing that is still highly relevant, 40 some odd years later. I haven't seen this in years, and I'm really a big fan of it. Oh, that looks gorgeous. This restoration looks really good. Um, I'm definitely excited to get this one. Um, yeah, I'll be getting this as soon as I can, in probably the next flash sale. Yeah, the thing that really sticks with me, it's mentioned here, is the parody Siskel and Ebert bit, which is very funny. Yeah, the film is pretty short, and it's definitely a little outside of Criterion's wheelhouse, I think. I don't know how many like straight, like unabashed comedies, or even especially parodies, are represented at all, but I love seeing more black directors in the collection. Robert Townsend is who conducted that documentary with Charles Burnett that I've talked up a few times, and he's just a really intelligent and thoughtful person. So, new restored 4K digital transfer, approved by Robert Townsend, with a compressed monaural soundtrack. Dope. New audio commentary featuring Townsend. Now this is probably worth the price of admission alone. Commissioning a new audio commentary from the director, like, bro, come on. That's like tight as fuck. New interviews with the actors, a radio program featuring Townsend in conversation with film critic Elvis Mitchell, and your usual stuff. So that's pretty tight. That's 5 films, 2 upgrades, 2 4Ks, two collector sets. Yeah, this probably makes sense if you were aware of this. This one has been rumored for a while, and I have been really hoping for a while. This one makes sense. This one I was expecting. This one is definitely a curveball. Like I didn't hear anything about this one, potentially being released. Overall, really exciting slate. Let me know what you guys are excited about, your thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on this 3 colors pricing, because I think I confused myself and now I don't know if it's a good deal or not. I pride myself on fostering an inclusive, thoughtful, and kind community here on YouTube, so comments that are in line with those values are greatly appreciated. There's links in the description to my Instagram, Rate Your Music, and Letterboxd accounts, should you like to become a bit more intimate with me. Liking the video helps a lot. I think as of the time I'm recording this, I am 1 subscriber away from 400, so, it's a pretty cool and sexy club to be subscribed to the channel, so, somebody click subscribe, help me out. In a few seconds, you're gonna see a end screen in front of you where you can click on my playlist of all my other Criterion Collection videos, if that is your sort of jam. So, with that all being said, hail Robert Townsend, hail the Criterion Collection, and hail Satan. Bye.